Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm gonna show you a way of creating virtual money inside Minecraft Java Edition without the use of any mods or add-ons. And it's quite simple to set up as well. This could, for example, be used for a server to create some kind of economy, or something else like that if you just want some kind of bank system. So how does this work? I've set up an example here, an example for a trading hall where we're able to buy and sell. If you look in the middle of the screen, just next to my name, it says 180. That's currently the amount of money inside my account. So, if I go here, I'm able to sell 1 diamond for 50. If you look at the money, 1 diamond disappeared and I earned 50. Same for the sword, same for 1 stack of stone. As you can see, I have 32 left, and this one doesn't get transferred, and it doesn't get any money. And I can sell 1 stack of wheat. As well as that, I can buy one, buy a sword, buy 32 stone, and 16 bread. And this is all there is. And it only needs these command blocks. So how does this work? We do this by using Minecraft's inbuilt scoreboard system. If you don't know what the scoreboard system is, it's basically a way for the game or for the player to track data that isn't necessarily meant to be tracked, but that could be useful. In this situation, we're going to create a custom stat that is going to track, which is our money. As you can see, I currently have the scoreboard active, so I'm going to remove it in order to show you guys. To get it started, you're going to need 2 command blocks, or you can just type it in the chat, that doesn't really matter. I'm just going to show you these commands to make it simple. The way you do it, if you type scoreboard, objective, meaning that we're going to do something with these scoreboards, and we're going to add a new one. We need to give it a name. I will call it currency, you will call it money or dollars, it's up to you. And we're going to decide what kind of stat there should be in this objective. I'm going to go with dummy, meaning that it's something that I decide what is going to be in there. So, we create our objective, but we still can't see it anywhere. So, again, we're going to type scoreboard, we're going to change our objective, and we're going to go for set display. Now we can choose where we want to see this. And you can show that if you click this, you will be able to see the money below people's names. If you click sidebar, you'll be able to see it on the right side of the screen. I personally prefer it to be in list. So that way we'll have it like before. And then you're going to add the currency. Now you'll see your currency objective in the list. In case I didn't make it clear, the 2 commands we typed earlier are only necessary to do once for all of this to work. The next step will be to actually get a command block. If you don't know how to do this, you would type this command here. If you're on a server, you might have to change some of the rules that makes you able to actually use commands inside of a command block. I will try and leave a link in the description for a video that shows how to do that. So, I'll start by showing you these 2 commands. They can be useful. As you can see, I've typed redundant because they don't really need it for this system. But this is basically a way of adding something to your whatever scoreboard you have. So in this case, I would add 50 here. And in this case, I would set it to 0. Just kind of handy to have. This is how the buying and selling mechanism works. There are 3 groups of command blocks. This is for buying something, any amount. This is for selling something, typically a stack, but can be any other amount. I will go over this in a second. And this is for selling 1 amount of anything. Please note that some of these commands might seem quite complicated, but in the description I will make sure to type in these commands so you're able to copy paste them. And wherever you need to fill out something, I will mark them with 3 question marks, like this. But let's go over these commands. First we will do the buying mechanism. Be aware that the position of the command block is actually quite important. It has to point the direction that the next command block will be in. So we will just start with 1 for simplification. We will use the execute, which makes us able to execute a command. We will do an if statement. If the entity that is closest, that is OP, has a score, and that score will be currency, which is equal to 50 or higher. In this case, let's say we want to buy the diamond for 50. That means we'll need to have at least 50 in our inventory for this to work. So let's just check that this works. And we can say run, just say hi. If I click this now, it won't do anything. If I have 50, add 50 here, you'll see it will say hi. Good. But we don't want this to say hi. We want this to run the scoreboard and change something for the player. And we want it to remove currency for OP. We want to remove from OP currency 50. So now if I have 50 and this and I activate this, I will lose the 50 again. If I click now, it won't. Then we're gonna place the next command block. This one is quite important. You have to change this from impulse to chain. You have to change this from unconditional to conditional and to always active. That means that this will only activate if this one has been successful. So if it actually found me and removed my currency. And in this situation, you would just do give OP, the closest player, let's say a diamond. And then the amount you want to give. We could say 16, 15. I don't have 50. We'll add 50. I get 15 diamonds. And just to make it clear, in your situation, you would want to change this to whatever amount you want. And the same with this to the same amount. This number right here. And you would want it to change to whatever item you desire. A way to figure out this should be the NPT data. If you press F3 and H, you're able to turn on advanced tooltips. So you can see, if you look underneath the diamond, that will be the name of the item. So if you want a hopper, for example, find hopper. Could be a good idea to check sometimes, since they do sometimes have odd names. For selling, there are two different ways of doing so. Selling one item is very easy, as you can see here. The reason why I've done this quite complicated with this one is that to check for a multiple amount is quite difficult. Like with this one will first activate if this one's condition is fulfilled. So if this has cleared one diamond from my inventory, then it will add 50 to my account. But the problem is that if I have, let's say we wanted to remove 10 and I don't have 4 and I only have 4, this one will still act as if I have 15. So to counteract that, I've made this. But I'll still quickly show how this works. By one item, you need to place, I don't know where I place that. You need to clear from the closest player some kind of thing. That could be a diamond. And the amount you want, but I will always choose one diamond. And then you would give, or in this case, you would do actually the scoreboard. You would add to the scoreboard, the nearest player, currency, well, let's do 50 again. And remember this, chain, unconditional, always resistant, always active. We do this, we need a diamond. And that worked. Fantastic. For selling a stack, I would recommend you to just copy my code, but I'm gonna show it anyway. Execute if entity OP closest one, NBT has inventory and has, yeah, like that, ID Minecraft diamond, and he has a count 64, B, then the other way around, like that. If he has this, he'll run a command, run say hi in this case. If I have 64 in my inventory, it said hi. The downside of using this mechanic is that it will only work if I have an exact stack of the amount I need. So even though my inventory now actually have 64, this won't get recognized as 64. And that's the reason why I recommend you to just use stacks instead of odd numbers. For of course, if you want to sell 32, in this case, it will only register if I had it like this, as you can see here. But nevertheless, it's smart for working with stacks. Again, chain, conditional, always active. Oh yeah, and I have to do run, we'll do run clear, OP, Minecraft diamond, 64. It's gonna remove 64. And then in this case, just go scoreboard, players, ads, closest one, currency, 500. So in this case, doesn't do anything. If I have 64, a stack, it will sell all of them. One thing that could be good to know, if you have this these text here, you can change this by go to game rule, command block output, and set it to false. Now, then it won't show anymore. So we just buy a diamond. You see, I'll just receive it, no text. I would like to mention that there does exist a fix for this, but it's very complicated and not really worth doing for a video like this. So just to show you, if we were gonna do a shopping system, how I would recommend you do it, place like this, find whatever command you need. Let's take this one, put it in. In this case, let's say we want to sell stone. We have to check for 64 and remember the MBT data. That would be stone in this case. And then we would have to add how much do we get for this stone. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. This is the one. So for selling the stone, we would get how much? 100, let's say. So now, this one doesn't do anything. We'll add some stone. And we get money. Perfect. Please ignore the sign. I hope you found this video useful. Please leave a like if you did. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.